record here. I'm still waiting for some of us to turn in the assignment. One is the plan of study that the class schedule for each semester. That's our second assignment. Some of us haven't turned in yet. Please work on it and turn it in as soon as you can. And then the third assignment is a major form. So the third assignment is a major form, and a lot of us haven't turned it in yet. The major form, if you got a chance, please fill out the major form. You can download it from online, download it from the web page, Missouri Western website, print it, or you can get it from department office in Wilson 193. It's a very simple form. You just need to download and or print it out or get it from the department office, and then you can fill it out. You can fill it out and turn it in. Okay, please do those as soon as you can. As soon as you can. Any questions? Any questions? Please, if you have a question, you can email me or you can ask. Please fill out the major form, and turn it in. Today, I'm going to share with you another screen here. I'll share with you another screen. Let's see, this one here. Okay. I asked everyone turn in the goal, and everybody did it. So today I know your goal, and I'm gonna share with you our goal, the program's goal, so that you know what exactly we are going for. Since our program has to go through 2 accreditation process. Accreditation process is outside agent came to Missouri Western to evaluate our program and evaluate our teaching, and then gave us credits. Basically, it's like a certificate. Says, okay, we evaluated it, and it passes the criteria of our agency. Now, those agencies are not government agencies. They're just some nonprofit organization. The school has its own accreditation agency, which is for the overall school. Just make sure that our school is a real school. It's not those fake online schools. So the school has an accreditation process. And then the program, each program has its own accreditation process. And our programs are accredited by ABET, American Accreditation Board for Engineering and Technology, accreditation board for engineering technology. So we have to have a program educational objectives, which is the goal of our programs. The goal of our programs. Okay, so we're gonna take a look of if you come here for a degree or just spend some years at a college, what we are trying to give to you. And I just take a look of construction, the construction objectives. So when you graduate from the with a degree from the program, our goals are for you to possess the general knowledge of construction industry, such as concepts, terminologies, basic and standard problem solving techniques. So that's for construction. And certainly for manufacturing and other majors, it basically is the same. You will have the general knowledge of the manufacturing industry. Okay, so this is a major course is designed for you come here for 4 years and you get a degree, and there are around 80 major credits, major courses that you have to take. Less than 82, but around 80. Okay, so those major courses is going to give you the basic general knowledge of that field, of your study. And then the second objective is to demonstrate the ability to produce and utilize designs, operation, and execution documents related to building or heavy construction industry. So that's for construction. And certainly for manufacturing, we also want you to have the ability to produce and utilize design. And certainly that's easy to understand. Basically, you're taking, for example, CAD 1, CAD 2, and in manufacturing, and then later on, you take statics, mechanics of materials, so you take machine design, and in construction, you take structure design, structure analysis. You take those courses so that you have the ability to produce and utilize the design. Either you will have the ability to do some simple design, or you will have the ability to understand other people's design, so utilize the design, and operations, and execution documents related to the field, Number 3 is function effectively in a group environment in the workplace through demonstration of technical and communication skills. Okay, that's something we call teamwork. And for our program to realize this goal, certainly going to school, you are in an environment of a group environment. That means you will have co-workers here, you have classmates, And in the workplace, you have co-workers, you have supervisors, and then you probably have someone that you supervise. You have employees that work for you. So it's a group environment, and we need to help you to function effectively in such a group environment. How do you communicate? How do you give out order? How do you take order? How do you execute the designs and to communicate? So those are the skills throughout the entire program, including the general education, general studies, so that we have, for example, we have English, we have communications, those general study classes. And also we have technical skills, including technical report writing. Those are communication skills. So that's the third goal. And then number four is understand professional, ethical, and social responsibilities. Professional, ethical, and social responsibilities. Okay. Now, how do we achieve that goal? How do we achieve this goal here? The professional responsibility is to help you to understand the basic, again, the general knowledge in this industry, so that you can make an informative decision. And now in some other classes, we will talk about ethics. In each industry, for example, construction industry, we use, in our programs here, we use ASCE, American Society of Civil Engineers, Code of Ethics. We use that. And in manufacturing, we use SME, Code of Ethics, which we'll talk about. We will talk about that. I think the Code of Ethics in construction will be explained in CET 105. If not, we have other classes, construction management, CET 360, construction management. We'll talk about ethics. And then in manufacturing, we talk about ethics in MET 111, manufacturing process. We talk about ethics. So those are the ethical and the social responsibilities. For social responsibility, we probably don't have a specific class to talk about social responsibility. We don't have a specific class to talk about ethical codes, but it will be taught at in some classes. I gave you an example. In manufacturing, we have MET 260, which is mechanical strength of materials. And in construction is CET 260. Basically, they are the same class. We will talk about a concept, for example, safety factors. In manufacturing, there's another class also talk about safety factors. Is machine design. Machine components and mechanical design. we talk about safety factors. And the safety factor is talk about the social responsibility of a machine, for example, of a machine of your design. If you want to design something, certainly when you study statics, when you study strength of materials, and you design, let's say the chair you are sitting on, you design how big the legs should be to support a person's weight, right? You come to the design. And there is a social responsibility because the chair is probably sitting by you and also sitting by other people if it's a commercial product. And so in the safe design, then we have, we will talk about a safety factor. We'll talk about a safety factor. It's depending on how big social, okay. And that's gonna be depending on how big a safety factor. It depends on the how big is a responsibility, is a liability if the product you designed failed it. The product you designed failed it. For example, in construction, if you design a bridge, how big is the liability if the bridge fails? And that's gonna be a huge liability. That's gonna be just a social liability consequence of failure. And that's something we discuss. So this is objective, understand professional, ethical, and social responsibility. And then the number 5, show respect for diversity and knowledge of contemporary professional, societal, and global issues. This one is kind of really vague. It's not very clear. So I need to explain a little bit more here. Certainly, the diversity. This is an issue because, especially a few years ago, we were talking about a globalization. Globalization, which is the interaction between different countries. Even now, we are somehow not that advocate for globalization, but still the trade, the interaction between countries, they are still vastly exist, right? Even now, who's maybe who's not muted? Maybe mute here. Okay. So even now, we have this new President Trump. Let's say, for example, the trade between Mexico and Canada. President Trump discontinued NAFTA, but then we have a new agreement. U.S. What's this new agreement? New U.S. MCA, United States, Mexico, Canada. We have this new agreement, and this is the interaction between countries. So we need to. This is the goal here: show respect for diversity, and certainly for our program, we have many faculty members with international backgrounds. So this diversity, we didn't have a whole lot of programs there. And then we will have students to have the knowledge of professional, societal, and global issues that is concerning with engineering, okay, those global issues. We are in competition with other countries, competition, cooperation, and certainly in some other countries, confrontation. We need to be aware of those issues, But again, when you study code of ethics in this number 4, when you study code of ethics, this is how you're going to behave professionally. One of the code of ethics you will study is that you don't want to give professional opinion in a field rather than your own field, okay? And so we just need to be aware of the contemporary professional, societal, and global issues. We don't have to necessarily make a judgment, make a, what do we call it, action to give our opinion that we are not an expert in. We're not an expert in. Okay, so that's the goal of program. Goal of the program number 5. Number 6, demonstrate a commitment to quality, timeliness, and a continuous improvement. And that's something that we need to emphasize here. The quality is, I want everyone to do good. Some of your goals is to get a good GPA, and thus the part of quality. That's part of quality is you're going to be the product of the program, of our program, and we want you to be of high quality, personal quality, as well as professional quality. So to have those quality, then you will need to know the knowledge. Number 1, number 2 here, you will need to have the knowledge, have the ability, and also you will have the willingness to continuous improvement. Okay, to think of your learning, think of your professional behavior, constantly be critique of yourself on your own, so that you can improve. Okay, always ask this question: if I can do better. Then another one is timeliness. This is very important to achieve the quality that we wish you to be, to achieve the quality we wish you to be. For example, timeliness, we have, again, we have lots of assignments and homework. There's a due date. And also the class. Right now we are in a pandemic. So it's this semester is kind of a lot of the classes have a lowered requirement on attendance. And when the pandemic is going to be over, which will, and then you will have to get used to this. You will have to be on time to class. A lot of instructors will not tolerate late. And that's not only like you attending the class late, or you turn the homework late, or you attend a test or miss the test or something like that. And those many instructors will not be tolerating those. And then if you don't do it on time, you will have a bad grade. So that's why I need to ask you for attention to this timeliness, okay, to this timeliness. Pay attention to this. Still, we have 3 assignments in this class. I know it's only 1 credit hour class. We wouldn't have a whole lot of assignments, but the previous assignment that is really important is concerning your college success. So I like to have you be sure to complete those assignments over there. We have assignment 2, which is to prepare a program, a plan of studies, the class schedules for each semester, okay? And assignment number 3 is a major form. As I said, the major form, you have nothing to lose to fill out a major form. It's a contract. You and the school is binding the school. It's school's obligation to provide you this program, for you to graduate. While on the other hand, you can easily change your mind. There's no penalty, no nothing. If you change your mind, it's just a piece of paperwork. Okay, so that's why I ask you to fill out this major form. So that's number 6. Number 7, continue professional development through lifelong learning. Okay, lifelong learning. This is another issue that we always talk about. For example, a lot of you guys right now in AutoCAD, in CAD 1, and this one here, they have a new release almost once a year, almost every year. A lot of us use a computer. We know this operating system. Computer will have an operating system. This operating system of a computer is like a traffic rules. With the operating system, with the traffic rules, then you have traffic on the road. If a computer is the road and the operating system, then it's the traffic rules. You gotta stop at red lights, you go on green lights, you have a speed limit, and you travel on the right-hand side of the road, and those are the traffic rules. And the operating system are the traffic rules, so that the programs, computer programs can run. And at the very beginning, the operating system of a personal computer is something called DOS. I don't know if anyone of you knows that. It's DOS, which is a disk operating system. Those rules are written on a disk, on the very big one is 5.5 inches, which has a magnetic tape inside the disk, magnetic disk. Okay, it's a piece of plastic that has a magnetic powder so that it can store digital information. And then those disks are not very reliable. Then we shrink the disk into 3.5 inch, from 5.5 inch into 3.5 inch. And then you have that's a disk operating system. Later on, you have a hard drive. And then the operating system is no longer on disk. So the technology keep advancing. Right now we have my computer runs on Windows 10, which I think Windows 10 probably stands for the year it develops, probably 2010. And then we have first we have the DOS, Disk Operating System, DOS, DOS. And then we have Windows. The very first one is Windows 3.1, Windows 3.1. And then we have a Windows 3.11. We have Windows 95, and so on and so forth. And now my computer runs on Windows 10. I think it's Windows 10. That might be another great upgrade. Just like the phone you are using, if you're using iPhone, the operating system probably is iOS 13, version 13. The AutoCAD, they have update each year, every year. I look back, when I go to college, we didn't have computer-aided drafting. We didn't have those software. And then the first CAD software that I got into contact is Release 10, AutoCAD Release 10. And something that is really funny that we have something we call a digitizer, which is like a mouse, actually is a scanner. You scan something to digitize it. And all the command, there's no mouse at that time, at the Release 10, AutoCAD Release 10, and everything is by command. So you got to use your keyboard to type in a command to draw, which is really, and then use the digitizer to draw. So really primitive, okay, old technology. But nowadays, you look back, it's only 20 years, or I think Release 10 was in probably 94 or 93. And that's how many years? 27 years, 27 years. Now we have released 2021. Now your AutoCAD has this three-dimensional modeling inventor and a mechanical desktop that can easily automatically generate machine codes, which for manufacturing students, you'll learn later on. And you have computer-controlled machines. So the complaint that I often hear is that some student will say, well, the program didn't teach us anything that is really useful. And I go to this company, they're using a different system. Especially a few years ago. Right now, for example, AutoCAD is almost has a monopoly status. Everybody uses the software. But a few years ago, people use all different kind of software for design. Different kinds of software for design. We have AutoCAD. We have Pro-E, called Pro Engineer. Okay, Pro-E, and we have SolidWorks. Still, a lot of people using SolidWorks. Okay, we have something called a silver screen. A silver screen is a software. And if a company use a different computer system or different software, a student will say, hey, the program didn't teach me those. We got to understand that college is just giving you the basic ability that you can learn yourself. You can learn yourself. So that's something we call the lifelong learning. Either self-learning or you go to further training after you go into workforce, go into employment. And the colleges just gave you a stepstone to get into the door of this profession, Okay, so that's a lifelong learning. We certainly want you to have this professional commitment that you got to realize you're gonna have to learn all the time. You're gonna have to learn all the time. So you will feel, we wish you feel happy in learning, to gaining knowledge. Okay, it's not a pain. It's rather a fun thing to do. It's rather a happy thing to do, to gain knowledge, to learn something that you didn't learn before. You will have this pleasure, you have this fulfillment, this feeling of fulfillment when you learn something. Okay, so those are the goals of our program objectives, So you can expect in those classes that are coming to your program, what are they trying to achieve? Those are the goals that they are trying to achieve. There's 7 goals here that we listed here. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? I'm gonna stop share here. We don't have assignment today. I'm gonna ask you to work on those 2 assignments. If you haven't done those yet, please turn in as soon as you can, those 2 assignments, the plan of study and then the major form. If you have any questions, you can email me. So that's it for today. I will see you guys next Tuesday again. All right. Have a good day.